Good morning. It is good morning on Thursday, June the 20th. If you are here live, say hello in the chat. I have it all set up there this time. Here is the Bitcoin Liquidation Watch live stream. Be sure to drop by there, give it a thumbs up, and say hello. It'd be great to have you guys along. I put a couple new commands in there. If you click on exclamation point, like, and sub, it'll give some animations. So today's video, we'll go through Bitcoin. We'll take a look at these levels. We'll look at Bitcoin in the Bollinger Bands and reset our markers there. And we're going to take a look at digital currency traders, and we'll work our way all the way through the AltSeason Copilot. And I'm going to go into the specific charts that I did up this morning for the alert status coins in the Pro Alerts. And that'll be it for today's live stream. So back to the liquidation watch. Let's see now. I was all set up to go a few minutes ago, but got a bit of a delay. It was a good delay. And now let's jump into the levels I'm watching here for Bitcoin. Of course, I'm watching for the 1, 2, 3 bottom and for Bitcoin prices to start on their way back up again. So I'm watching for small time frame 1, 2, 3s, and I'm watching for Bitcoin to be breaking out of this channel and confirming that 1, 2, 3 change of direction out of this channel. That would be awesome. And as it's coming out of that channel, I always want to pay attention to DXY and dollar index. If I zoom out on those, we can see this trend line where dollar index is up underneath this trend line, making a potential 1, 2, 3 top. And if it breaks down lower than that, that will be really important for the potential for Bitcoin. So here we have 1, 2, 3 top in DXY, but it's above this trend line that I've drawn from before. So because dollar index is squeezed between the lower trend line and the upper trend line, we're kind of in a gray zone waiting for it to break either one direction or the other. And should it break lower for dollar index, then I expect Bitcoin's going to hold these levels here, and we're going to consolidate, and we're going to start building some nested 1, 2, 3 patterns on the small time frames that has a chance to start building around and going the other direction. Part of the way I look for that is to mark out where the Bollinger Bands are. And I like to keep track of where they are relative to one another, because it often leads to insights about the 1, 2, 3 formation that's building up right now. So as I go through the different time frames, it lets me know that that 12 hours really pinched down quite a bit from the top, where the bottom hasn't pinched all that much. So this is condensing into the consolidation for a big move. And as I go into the daily time frame, it's widening out, which means it's kind of letting space set up for price to go lower than this, which is not what I was wanting. I was wanting to see that pinching in. The 3-day is still steady, flat either way. So the 3-day will be happy and not be phased if price goes for a spike down to 54 and then does a V-shaped recovery way up after that. The 3-day Bollinger Bands would handle that. They would be okay with that. The weekly is also saying 51,000 for a strike down to the bottom would be okay, and it would consolidate as a pinch outside that third standard deviation or on the weekly, because it would probably keep pinching in more as we went down. And if we did go down with the weekly pinching in, hitting the bottom of that 3-day band, then that would be where I'm expecting a bearish strike to. That's the farthest range it's got in my thinking. And I don't know the future for sure. Now, if I zoom back into it now, I'm seeing that the 4 hour is giving us the move outside the third standard deviation, moved inside the second, and it's making a 1, 2, 3 formation. So it's giving me all the pattern that I need for a turnaround for Bitcoin. Now, this trading plan using the EMA crossover, the 1, 2, 3 pattern, checking it against the Bollinger Bands and the other indicators, you can learn it all with a 7-day trial to Digital Currency Traders course. You can go here, go to the 7-day trial, and stay on the right side of altcoin season. what you will get is the 46 lessons that teach you the trading plan that we're just going over for Bitcoin here. So this is how to trade this trading plan on just one market. It can be Bitcoin, can be silver and gold, can be any chart pattern at all. Then we have a second course that has 32 lessons, and this is talking about how to diversify into the altcoins and a lot of different historical follow-up there too. So what we're going to do now to illustrate that and to talk about what's going on with the altcoins is I go through all these altcoins every day that we can see down at the bottom, and I'm going through right now what are the alert status coins here to view which coins I should be writing an alert for, where is my entry, where is my exit, where should my stop loss be. And we learn that in the 5 stages of the trade. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, Stage 4, and Stage 5, the exit. The 5 stages of the trade are really important. So what I'm doing is Stage 1 of the trade for all of the different altcoins, and I put that data together into our website. So if I go to start here, and I go to the accelerator, the Pro Alerts, I'm going to go into the alerts page, and here is the data that we would have the opportunity to download. If you're a member, you can just download the CSV, and it's got a whole bunch of additional information and the screenshots and everything for each of these alerts. I think you can fit them all. So you can screenshot this and take a look at it. But what I've done is I've brought that same list over onto the other monitor so that I can look over at the monitor and see which ones are on the list. Then I can go through and look at the chart for that. Alice. So Alice, I took a $1 loss on this. I got a good entry. It pumped up. I moved the stop loss just above the entry. Price came down, and it turned out to be a $1 loss anyway. Now I've got another alert with Alice coming down, consolidating again. It's just another place why I have to play it. And I'll do the same thing. If this pumps up, I'll endeavor to get my stop loss just above my entry. But I'm not going to do that until I'm not going to move this from stage 2 of the trade, right? If it gets triggered, then it'll be in stage 2 of the trade. Doing all this work in preparation is stage 1 of the trade. If it gets triggered into stage 2, then my job is initiated, where I have to watch the market and manage risk. And as soon as price goes up, consolidates, and goes up again, like it did earlier, then I'll move the stop loss just above the entry and see if price stays up above that or not. And that's it. That's the strategy. And we just don't know which ones are going to go. So we wait for the AltSeason Copilot to tell us that everything's below our entry signal. Now, whichever passes our entry signal, we want to play a small position on. So let's go through these. Make sure you can see that. Auction. What's going on? I got to refresh this. Starting to get some action here. So if this is building up and giving us some action on that Bitcoin breakout out of this tiny time frame consolidation here, this is what I'm looking for. We've got the pinch down on the Bollinger Bands. It's got the tiny 1, 2, 3. If it's breaking up above that, it's starting to confirm, and we'll watch for the 15-minute to consolidate down. So this is going to take a few hours. In the meantime, let's go over the rest of these. Auction. Nice. Okay, so it's got higher lows. It's got stacked 1, 2, 3s. So this is pulled back into what I call the springboard trading pattern. And I do have a special report that I did teaching about the springboard trading pattern and the springboard variations over in the course that you can grab and learn this stuff. Make money with this stuff. BCH. Okay, it's come back. Back to historical support and resistance levels. It's consolidated nicely. So on the super small time frame, I can go in there. I see that 1, 2, 3. In fact, I see stacked 1, 2, 3s where it's come down to a bottom, made me a nice 1, 2, 3 or a W formation. This formation comes by many names because it's so old. So it could be a double U formation, and then we've got a range, and a range breakout above that is something I can play that gives me a place where I can control my risk. I can measure it out ahead of time like an insurance policy. And I know what I'm going to be paying for costs on that if I leave my stop in place at the right place. So comp is the next one that is in alert status. All right, it's an older alert. I left it even though it came down to new lows. I left the alert. It's good enough consolidation that that's close enough. Now, Doge came into alert status. That's been a while as it's been coming down here. And now it's come down. It's consolidating. It is making the break of the downtrend line. Let me change the color of that. That would be the break of the downtrend line, the 1, 2, 3 formation, but on a super small time frame, which often is noisy, which means we have to be super small in the trade size. GMX. Similar pattern. You can see them all shaping up here. Those that held their May low, they're consolidating. They give us this formation. I want to play IOTX. Okay, this has been in alert for a while. It's still good. It's still above support and resistance. It's noisy, but it's okay. If I put my $20 in there, then it's okay. My $20 can watch that, and I'm okay for it to take a while because I have to take time off the equation. The money is watching it. MKR, I wasn't as happy about doing an alert on this one. It looks manipulated to me. Pumped and dumped and pumped and dumped and pumped and dumped, but it is 3 higher lows moving along here and giving a consolidation. So I'll put the alert out there and leave the stop in place. And I ignored it in the past before and it made a big pump and I could have made money. This time I'll follow it along. People, this is the first of the Nitro add-on trades. Ah, so nice. So we had the consolidation. I did run through this dip where I actually shouldn't have. I should have taken the loss and got into it again later, but I rode through a few of these dips. This one turned out where it's pumped up nicely and now it's consolidated back to the 50% level. Super key. Now it's made that 1, 2, 3 formation. As I zoom in and zoom in, we can see it's got higher lows. It's consolidating. Got to do it. This is the add-on trade now. So when I'm adding on, actually both the initial trade and the add-on trade stop loss are tied together. And that means if it does come down to this loss, I'm at 0 for the whole position. So I really want to wait for it to give me enough pump, come back, and so that I can leave my stop, so that the average of the stop leaves it back far enough that I can hopefully hold on to this one as it goes. So adding on to a proven position is always difficult. If I do it too soon, it always wrecks the position. So I'm waiting for the big move, the 50% at least. Sometimes the 38.2 is even better, and then the consolidation. We'll see how that turns out now. But I love it that we've caught this. We can talk about it. RLC is making extra lows. I don't really like the formation very much, the 1, 2, 3. It's not as clean as some of the others, but I put the trade in, and we'll watch how that one turns out. RNDR. Long time since I traded this one, but it's come back to hit 3 times off this top, off this new bottom now. So as I zoom in and I zoom in, then if it does go above these levels, okay, I'll play, and then it's my job to move the stop losses up and manage the risk on that. We'll see how that one turns out. We got 4 more to go over in the last panel here, and that'll wrap it up for today's live stream. And I appreciate you guys being here. If you are watching after the live stream is done, I ask you a favor, leave the word altcoin season in the comment down below. Let's see if that makes a difference for the YouTube algorithm. SOL isn't my favorite according to our trading system because it's like at way of a top and it hasn't come back all the way to the 50%. You know, I can smudge it to say it's near there. It's also not making a really good formation. I could probably tighten this up a little bit and move my stops on this to give it a cleaner signal now. But I haven't done that yet, so I'll better wait till I can do that in the spreadsheet. SOL, what's the next one? TRU, TRX. TRU is the second of the Nitro trades. This is the second add-on trade. I think I got in, I want to point at the chart on my screen. I think I got in on this second box, rode through, it pumped up. I'm good. I'm good right there. And now that it's consolidated, This is where we can go into stage 4 of the trade. So that doesn't happen in every trade. Often we have stage 1 where we identify everything. Then we have a lot of stage 2 and we go right to stage 5. I don't like those ones. They cost me money. Then sometimes we get from stage 2 to stage 3. I get the stop loss above the entry. Maybe it comes back and kicks me out and I don't lose money, but it's still a lot of work. Then there are the stage 3 that turn out to make money and after the exit. Finally, there are those good ones, the stage 4 trades that they've pumped up, they've come back. I can add on to have a bigger position without increasing my risk. And if this one takes off on the long term, now I've done my job of building my position correctly and dollar cost averaging into this one safely, and there's nothing else for me to do. Then I have to sit and do a whole bunch of nothing on this. That's the hardest part. TRX is also a new alert. I got to zoom back into this. It's consolidating nicely. It's kind of a 3-2-1 formation, but it's good enough. And I can put the stop in place so that it'll manage risk. I took a bit of a loss on it back here. So in my thinking, this chart owes me this much money. And I will earn that money back if I get into the bottom formation and we go up and past that again. I've got all that money back. So I'm good to keep doing this over and over again. I'll get that money back and it'll come up. It'll give me the consolidation. I'll be able to add on and I'll make it all back plus a whole bunch more. Just got to have that long-term perspective. It certainly has to be long-term because the last 3 years have been difficult in crypto trading. Now we get to the last one that I did an alert on, and zooming in, we can see the low in April. We can see it consolidating for another capitulation low here. So I call this, I think I called it a swing trade entry. Where's the trade type? Simple trading plan. So it was going to be a simple trading plan if it came up above those levels, but I think it looks more like a swing trade entry. Am I looking at the right one? TWT? Wow. Okay. I would call this more of a swing trade entry, trying to get into it at these levels. But if the EMAs are crossing at that time, then I can also call it, I guess the other day when I did that signal up, it looked better. So anyway, that should be a springboard trade entry or a swing entry, not a simple trading plan that I have listed there. That wraps it up. So as we are coming through this stage here and the new alert status coins, you just got to go and take a look at them and do the work of stage 1 of the trade. And what is this? 1 inch and MKR are the two coins. So Maker, I already covered that one, but 1 inch, we can go and take a look at that. This is a new alert status coin. And as we zoom into that, you can see it's giving us the alert status according to our trading indicator. So if you're interested in the indicator, you want to check all that stuff out, go and grab that 7-day trial down below. That's another alert status coin to take a look at. So your job then, once it goes into a new alert status, is to go and do stage 1 of the trade. And that is to determine where your entry would be, where your profit target would be, where your stop loss would be, what your position size would be, and then you put all that stuff into the exchange so that they all fire. And I've got that set up now through the Pro Alerts spreadsheet. Thank you so much to Barry for helping out. So that it fires through directly through, this probably needs to be updated, fires through directly through to this copy trading account that started off with $0 and grew to where it is now. We're sitting at up 178%. These are the more recent entries we just got into. ARKM, UNFI, AAVE, IMX, ICP, XAUT, LDO, Uni. And so this is great. I'm super excited with this small little copy trading account. All right. That wraps it up. We went through the AltSeason Copilot. We went through the new alerts for the Pro Alerts. So that gives you the inside look. This is the do and show business model style, where we're doing it, showing you how we're doing it, and then you can do it too. So thanks for being along. Leave that comment down below. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You know the routine. You are a trooper for staying all the way to the end. Trade safe and keep those losses small.